we used to go down there for them tapings they did at Universal, WCW.
Sure.
You're stuck in Kissimmee for like 3 weeks with nothing to do. And we were at this hotel, I don't remember the name of it, all fucked up. We had these 2 strippers in there, and we were kind of like, as stupid as we are, bored now. So we go down to the store, we come back, we got one of them slip and slides, and we set it up in the hallway. We take apart the sink in the bathroom, hook the hose up to it. We have the girl sitting on the other end naked with her legs spread. I have a strap-on dildo wrapped around my head, and I'm laid on my back, and Raven is shoving me down down the slip and slide, trying to get it in there. And when we weren't going fast enough, so then I come up with the idea of rocket propulsion, and I got the fire extinguisher. At this point, security's there because we've flooded the floor underneath us now. Raven shoves me, I hit the fire extinguisher, which, if you don't know about fire extinguishers, what they do is they take all the oxygen out of the air. So now Raven can't breathe. The security's trying to get us. We're running down the hallway. I'm naked. I got a strap-on dildo bouncing around on my head. We all got thrown out of the hotel.
This ain't WCW. This ain't Monday Night Raw. This ain't SmackDown. This ain't even WWE.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Time restraint, a 30-minute time limit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Marks on Commentary. I'm Jason Smith.
And I'm Eddie Brophy.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
That's the other thing I fucking forgot to do. Before we started doing the show, it's Marks on Commentary. I'm Eddie.
I'm Jason.
I'm Catherine.
Oh, they're learning, ladies and gentlemen. They're learning.
We're improving a little.
I was supposed to make a new intro, and I'm surprised that didn't come up because Catherine was throwing Jason under the bus on how he pretends to be me on Twitter, and then realized that I'm a writing major and I don't spell nearly as badly as Jason does. Excellent work, sir.
Yeah, I try.
We have a writing major and a journalist, and yet somehow we have Jason doing the Twitter account.
But
My job is all visual.
But he's very good at it. That's the thing.
He is.
Again, if you put me on Twitter, we would have like 1 follower, and it would just be someone to just continue like watching or reading us sabotage ourselves as I just get angry at people and tell them to fuck themselves, and then wonder why they're not listening.
No, that can't be entirely true, because I have like 70 followers on Twitter, and mine's just pictures of my beagle.
If you haven't been on YouTube recently, cat and dog people are very high in demand. It doesn't matter how crazy you are.
Yeah, but nobody that follows me for pictures of my dog, I don't think. That'd be weird.
Well, this is 2013, Catherine. Anything's possible. Now, Jason went through all the hard work of making bullet points. So, you know what?
Yay!
This is going to be a very exciting show for both Catherine and Jason, because this past Sunday, I literally got home right as the CM Punk Chris Jericho match was starting, which is like the second to last match, I believe. So,
Yeah.
I missed out on the disappointment in Jason's voice. So I'm gonna let these two discuss WWE Payback. From what I saw, the 2 matches of it, I really enjoyed it.
It was a very good show overall. Like, I was surprised. Like, going in, I thought, okay, this is going to be better than Extreme Rules. And it was one of the better pay-per-views I've seen this year.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, I really didn't care about it going into it. There was nothing that really drew me in. I was excited to see Ziggler back. I was excited to see Punk back. But other than that, there was nothing in the pay-per-view that I thought was going to excite me. And I ended up being more than pleasantly surprised. I ended up being sucked right into it. I loved the way they opened it with the Intercontinental match. Some people didn't like that they started with that, but I thought it started on such a high note, such a positive, it was the 3 of them put on such a fantastic match that, it just set the tone for the entire thing, and everybody had to live up to that match, and I think they did a good job of that.
Now, I do have to ask, in terms of predictions here, because I believe on the last show, Jason and I, we both agreed that while we thought it was a long shot, having Curtis Axel win the Intercontinental title, given that it was Father's Day, was a pretty amazing thing, and sure enough, he did it. There were definitely a list of picks that we had that I think we got almost all of them.
A lot of them. The one that threw us off, we'll get into it later, but was the Ziggler and Del Rio match. But
I'm still trying to pick that one, and again, having not watched the match, but later on was like, what the hell? And then on Raw, wait, Del Rio's and he's a heel again? What the hell happened?
Yeah.
Now,
That match for me was really uncomfortable. Jason, I don't know if you felt the same way or when you saw it, Eddie, but they had teased the whole thing a couple of weeks ago with Triple H having a concussion in the middle of the match, and we all laughed at it because we knew it was so fake and so cheesy and terrible for him to do that. When they did it with Ziggler and Del Rio, I mean, you can look at it and say they have a lot of faith in Del Rio that they would let him do that to one of their, I think right now Ziggler's one of their top wrestlers, that they would trust him to do that scenario with him. But to sit there and watch Ziggler take repeated headshots after you know that he's been off the roster for 5 weeks, and just, for me, it was uncomfortable. And I couldn't enjoy that match because I spent the entire time squirming, every time he got hit in the head. And that's what they wanted, but I thought it almost went too far.
Yeah, I'm with you. The physicality was a bit much. I mean, you quote the PG era and wow, that's intense. But Paul Heyman said it. You want attitude era. You want things that shock you. This is something that shocks you, and if you don't like it, then we'll stick with PG. So,
well,
yeah,
I think what they're doing now, which I think is brilliant, is that in the TV14, TVMA era, they relied so heavily on sex to make the product edgy. Now it's almost like, I'm trying to think of a really good comparison, but there's David Cronenberg movies that make me cringe, and then there's The Godfather that legitimately made me cringe watching it. And they're two very different things. One has shock value. The other is there's a reality to it that you don't often think about in real life, that when it's presented to you, it's oh man, this is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people, I really enjoy, the crazy CZW death matches. I don't ever get uncomfortable watching wrestling because I know it's predetermined or fake or whatever you want to call it. But that, to me, that match was too far. It just started going over that line of, I mean, it was a real injury he was coming off of. And yes, they have a lot of faith in Del Rio, but all it took was one of those kicks to be just wrong, and Ziggler's back at square one.
Yeah.
Now, him losing the title, does this set him back? Or, because I've read rumors that, maybe they're going to try to have him walk into Money in the Bank and then win the briefcase again. And with Money in the Bank, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but with Money in the Bank, I'm kind of curious now. Are they going to make it strictly, because I know in terms of the house shows, they're not drawing as much for SmackDown as they do Raw, so they're kind of doing away with the brands entirely in terms of house shows. Will they do away with that entirely with the Money in the Bank ladder match, where you get your shot at either title? It doesn't matter at this point. And if so, if Ziggler is to be Mr. Money in the Bank for a second year, is he almost in a better position to go after the WWE title as opposed to the World Heavyweight title?
I think it would be detrimental to give him the Money in the Bank briefcase again. I would rather see him go back and take what's his and beat the snot out of Del Rio and take the belt back, because I think that would empower his character. Because
that's what confuses me, because he's already owed a rematch. There's that rematch clause. So him winning Money in the Bank doesn't even, because that's the other scenario that kind of confused me now.
Yeah.
Could he look at it as okay, I can get, and again, this is a far off possibility, but we've talked about a lot of things on this show that seem far off, that Jason would agree that we're just talking bullshit, and then we see it on Raw and we see it on a pay-per-view, and we're holy fuck.
Being Caitlin's boyfriend,
yeah,
secret admirer,
Catherine's clairvoyance. But I mean, is there even a chance that Ziggler could get his, he's got his rematch clause, he can win back the world title, win Money in the Bank, and then say, screw it, I want the WWE title too? I mean, Paul Heyman even said for WrestleMania, his ideal WrestleMania 30 moment would be a unification of the titles. I still personally don't understand why we have two separate World Heavyweight titles.
I think it worked when there was the two separate shows, because you could say, it's the best of the two shows or the two brands, and that the two titles were equal. But I think they've pretty much, they still have the two shows, they still have the two brands, but it feels like like you said, they've done away with that so much in the last year or so. And there's no guy that's on SmackDown but never on Raw, except for some of the jobbers. None of the top people from Raw are never on SmackDown. So
sorry to interject,
no,
but
definitely.
the WWE champion is never on SmackDown. Very rarely do you see that. You don't turn on SmackDown and say, I'm going to see the WWE champion tonight. So I kind of still feel until you make that a regular thing, that you still need the World Heavyweight title to be the WWE title when the WWE title is not on SmackDown.
Well, no, that's an excellent point because, for example, when Cena held the title, or even when Cena didn't hold the title, they always said SmackDown's going to have a special guest appearance from John Cena. Why is it a special appearance if Cena's on the WWE roster? Like, again, you're treating SmackDown like a second-rate show. So
separate but equal.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're going to treat it like a second-rate show and you're going to treat a guy from Raw as a special guest, like this is once in a lifetime, then why shouldn't you treat the World Heavyweight Champion as a second-rate champion compared to whoever's holding the WWE belt? Even when Punk would show up as a WWE champion on SmackDown, they made a big deal of it, and it's like, why is it a big deal? He's on the roster.
Yeah. The only way, there's two ways to fix that. One would be, to have the WWE champion on both shows, which is hard because they already have a busy schedule, and sometimes being on both shows would be hard, especially for the WWE champion. Or, every time the heavyweight champion is on Raw, they would have to make as big of a deal about it that they did in reverse. And they're never going to do that because no one cares about the heavyweight championship the same way they care about the WWE champion. Because you can say, I know I say all the time, they're separate but equal or whatever, but it's not. Everybody knows Raw is the A show and SmackDown is the show that people with no lives on a Friday night want to watch because they love wrestling.
Well, now I got to ask, and this is a very trivial thing, Jason, how did we feel, and I know you were very excited, and I was actually surprised by this, CM Punk keeping the theme song, keeping Cult of Personality?
Yeah, no, that works. The song that was rumored that we played on the show last week, I thought was terrible. I didn't think fit him at all, if that was to be the one. I think it's just one of those internet rumors that blows up, but I'm happy it's still the same.
Now, how do we feel about Punk right now? Because I feel like Punk has returned, and he's a tweener again. He's neither a heel nor a babyface. He's just CM Punk. CM Punk came back. Obviously, he got one of the best ovations that night, even on Raw. Where does what does Punk have to gain right now? After and he wasn't even gone that long. I mean, to us, it felt like a fucking lifetime, but in reality, he wasn't gone that long. Where does he stand? What does he stand to gain right now? And I guess, you guys can touch upon, if you want, a few more matches from the pay-per-view before we go to Raw. But, personally, I had no faith in the WWE Championship match between Cena and Ryback. I actually thought the ending was pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I thought it was so anticlimactic. Okay. I think for what they did, it felt anticlimactic. Because he put him through the roof of the ambulance, and then there was just that moment of pause. And it wasn't like a, holy crap, what did he do pause? It was I have no idea what just happened because Ryback just kind of disappeared. And it really wasn't until John Cena acknowledged what happened that anybody was like, oh, okay, I guess. I thought it was a cheap way out. I didn't like it, but that's me.
Well, of all the potential endings you could have had, that one worked the best. That's a really crappy way of putting it. But considering how they ended Extreme Rules, I thought that the ending of Payback, it was more fitting. It was something that once the pay-per-view ended, it fucking ended. It didn't end with WWE.com exclusive. Cena gets up out of the strike. It just ended. It ended and it set up Raw, which I do want to talk about, but I don't want to ignore the other matches on the card from Payback. So if you guys want to discuss those,
well, before we go on to that, I was just gonna say about the John Cena match. I stopped paying attention. I was so psyched about the entire pay-per-view, and we got finished Punk and Jericho, finished all the other matches, and then I just stopped paying attention. To be honest, I watched the Lumberjack match because I thought it was really funny to see half of those guys there, because let's be honest, I forgot JTG existed still.
You and everybody else.
And, keeping an eye out for, Ted DiBiase, some of my favorites that aren't always out, 3MB, I love them. I'm sorry, I know I have bad taste. I'll apologize. But, after the Lumberjack part of the match, I just stopped caring. If they had ended with Punk and Jericho, I would have thought that was the best pay-per-view ever. I thought Cena and Ryback was the weakest match. There was that moment of, oh look, when Cena jumped into the Lumberjacks, but my reaction wasn't, oh god, John Cena's jumping from the top turnbuckle. My reaction was, oh, that's convenient, all the Lumberjacks are in one place. But no. I don't know, I just didn't care about the last match. And that's, I've made it obvious, I don't like John Cena, I don't like Ryback, but there was nothing about the match that really interested me.
Well, for Jason, high points, low points of the entire card, including Cena Ryback.
One quick thing I'm going to jump in. You mentioned JTG. You have to go follow employed JTG. It's a count of how long he's been employed. As of June 18th, it was 6 years, 35 days, and 17 hours, 2 minutes. So, anyways, the one thing I noticed, and I'll even frame this into a question, was we saw the Punk match, we saw the Randy Orton Bryan match, and then you get to Cena, and it's a noticeable level of crowd like just doesn't care, or were they burnt out? I don't know.
I again. Well, I think it's presumptuous of me because I didn't see the show from beginning to end, but from the high point of the show, which I think was Jericho Punk, and again, I really, with the exception of Punk returning, didn't care about this match because they didn't give me a need to care, other than oh holy crap, Punk's back. But those two are such phenomenal performers, and they have such an amazing chemistry in the ring that you could easily say, because this was the pay-per-view nobody really had any investment in, the fact that they were able to deliver on the level that they were with the Chicago crowd, which is always like fucking, I love Chicago. Like, I love the city. I love the fans of Chicago. You're not going to have, I mean, aside from, I think, New Jersey, Boston, Chicago in terms of best crowds. And I mean, our listeners can shit on me all they want. Fuck you, come to Boston. Come see a wrestling match in Boston, then tell me that, you're fucking nobody gives a shit about state has a better crowd. Because you don't. I think it was burnout.
The Cross is a bad crowd because we're bad at, chanting things at the same time. We're too, crazy for that.
Well, that's the thing. Boston is far too passionate. The thing with Chicago is they're passionate, but they're in sync. Whereas Boston, one guy yells one thing, another guy yells another thing, and then a little kid yells something. Where it's almost like the People's Choice Awards. Who was the funniest of the three? So you have 4 different sections of the arena being like, well, I like the little kid. Well, I like the drunk guy. Well, I like the journey guy. Oh, yeah, all right.
Yankees suck.
Yankees fucking suck, dude. Yeah, Yankees suck. That's the only way a Boston crowd is ever in unison.
Oh yeah, they suck.
And
I forgot. We could say that.
And I would have killed for Jericho to have gone out to that Chicago crowd. And I realize he's from Winnipeg, but I would have loved if he walked out there in a Bruins jersey, just for shits and giggles. Because the funny thing was, that Night of Champions, when Punk came out in the New York Yankees stripes on his tights, that actually got him a lot of heat. I'm not a sports guy. It's no fucking surprise, but I do like when a lot of the guys in the back do kind of play up to the bigger sports towns, namely Boston, when they actually play up to, and Chicago's another one. So
Punk was in Blackhawks colors.
He was. He did have that custom made.
I did think that was kind of cool, but I still got to show support for the Bruins.
Hey, you fucking dick, Punk! You fucking dick kid! I'll fucking kill yous. That's what if I was at this baby, that's you fucking dick. Kelly's roast beef forever, kid. Sorry. Yeah, I'm glad that got a pop. Yeah, I'll be that guy at the next, WWE pay-per-view in Boston. Just I won't even hold up a Marks on commentaries. I'll just hold up a giant Kelly's roast beef sign. Yeah, you pop for Kelly's, you fucking dicks.
Nice.
So, I mean, if you want to wrap up with the pay-per-view, Jason, I mean, any other 4-star matches?
AJ and Caitlyn for the Divas title, I thought was decent.
I was surprised about how well they pulled it off. I mean, they had that build up the last couple of weeks going into it, but other than that, I mean, they hadn't been mentioned in months, and I thought that they were having them after that Intercontinental match meant that the audience was still paying attention and they were able to get behind it. And it was too early in the show for anybody to leave for a bathroom break, so everybody just kind of watched.
Well, so what was the bathroom break match then?
Probably Cena Ryback. That was fuck this.
No, it
we're
really
going
was.
home early.
I waited till the very end, and then I was like, whatever. I'll just go now.
Yeah.
I gotta do this just to poke fun at Jason and I, because we took our pizza bathroom break at the wrong time for the TNA pay-per-view. What was if you had it like a bathroom break match that you're like, this match is gonna suck, and you walked away from it, and everyone's like, dude, that match is so fucking good, kid. What was that match for this pay-per-view? One that just on paper you're like, fuck this. I almost want to say Dean Ambrose Kane was the one that most people probably were like, fuck this match. And honestly, from what it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with that. It doesn't seem, because, Kane's great, but he's not going to give you that 5-star match that you think you could get.
Yeah.
Lest we forget Randy Orton and Kane at that WrestleMania. Oh my God.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah, that was a 4-star match I've ever seen one, you fucking dick. The part of Eddie will now be played by Sully McDudeface. Fucking Sully, kid. Yeah, Eddie's not on this show. It's all Sully all the time. Well, I mean, let's get into Raw then, because honestly, this was the best fucking Raw of 2000. I'm going to get very Bostonian now because I'm actually getting, like, overwhelmed and, like, hyperactive with how much I love this. Mark fucking Henry. Oh, my God.
Awesome.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
Troll of the
I fell
fucking
for
year.
Line and sinker.
Oh, dude, when he started crying, like, give this man a fucking Oscar. The fact that he was crying and he made a joke about Mae Young, and he came out with the boots, and he was, talking about his son who's on Twitter. And I was roaring by the end of that. Like, oh my God, dude, you are so underappreciated in this company. Good on you, Mark Henry. I've always been a sexual chocolate fan. On the show, I've even said and even when they did the sexual chocolate chant and he had the biggest smile on his face, he's another Glenn Jacobs. He's another Kane. He's a guy that got some really shit gimmicks.
Yeah.
And man, like, they will never tarnish his legacy because he's Mark Henry. But when people chant sexual chocolate, to me at least, to me as a fan, that's not them, like, booing him or being like, oh, you suck. When people chant sexual chocolate, like, I genuinely think that's like a term of endearment. Like, look at you now, dude. Like, you were fucking sexual chocolate. You gave birth to a hand.
How far you've come moment as opposed to, like, dissing on it.
And I loved the fact that almost halfway through his speech, you could kind of tell the crowd's like, oh, fuck him. He's full of it. Nah. And, like, they almost, like, the gasp. Like, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
When he fucking nailed Cena. And it was like nobody knew what to think at that point. It's like, wait a second. Did WWE just shock us? Is it 1997? What the fuck just happened? That's right. That's right. Flux capacitor was in motion. 1.21 gigawatts of awesome.
Yep.
Thank you for the sound effect, James. No, because Jason and I even said after Raw was over, like, dude, did you see any of that? I mean, even the fact, not to jump ahead, but Brock Lesnar F5ing fucking Punk.
Amazing.
Dude, I didn't even, like, I've heard rumors, like, oh, Punk and Brock, me and Jason have talked about it. I mean, we forgot about RVD, so then Jason and I should geek out about, like, Jason's idea of, like, oh, RVD Punk versus, Lesnar and fucking Curtis Axel. It's a real fucking possibility now. Yep. RVD's re-signed. Granted, it's a part-time temporary contract. Who the fuck cares? RVD's coming back.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was gonna say, you sound subdued, so you have the biggest hard-on for Rob Van Dam. You had the biggest hard-on for Rob Van Dam in 7th grade when we had opposing backyard wrestling federations, and that was like the one thing we could agree on was that we were like we had the biggest hard-ons for RVD because that guy is fucking phenomenal in and out of the ring. Like, he's a stoner who somehow manages to cut amazing promos, but he's had some of, like, his agility and the fucking Van Daminator. I am so mad that we're, like, in the era of, like, you can't take headshots with the fucking chair because I just want to see the Van Daminator just one more time.
They could pull something off.
I mean, now, how do we feel about that even? I mean, kind of jumping back and forth here, RVD's return. Did anyone see that fucking coming?
The stream cut out on me at that point. But,
yeah. Jason and I were messaging, and, like, our streams cut out at the same time, and I was like, "No!"
And then you just see, like, the Twitter feed blow up, RVD, and I'm like, he's there. I gotta find another stream. Fuck.
I love how Jason's trying to, solicit interviews from actual wrestlers, and we're willingly doing that. We don't pay for this shit. Who has money for that? I got bills, motherfucker. Kelly's. I spent all my money at Kelly's.
Let's get a sponsorship from Kelly's, then maybe we can pay for pay-per-views.
You fucking right, kid. Sam Adams and Dunkin' Donuts present Marks on Commentary, you fuck.
Our first live event will be at Kelly's.
No, it'll be Route 1 at Kelly's, you fucking asshole. Dunks will be there, but fuck them. Fucking Starbucks, you fucking losers.
I thought you were going to say fucking quiz.
Yeah, I was about to, but I'm like, no, you gotta keep it peace. I almost said something else, but...
You're like, let me tone it down a bit.
I'm trying. It's so hard to be from Boston.
We already got away with the Perry Saturn dildo hat story.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jason.
What's that?
And
That's Perry Saturn.
I have no
the
idea.
shit that this kid, well, I seriously, one night we went to film our like pre-WrestleMania show. The shit that this kid digs up, like again, this is why I bitch at him so much. I'm like, dude, just school us more, man. The shit he was digging up on his computer to show me like shoot interviews, and the fucking sordid, messed up bullshit that wrestlers do. Holy fuck, dude. I literally, and I think he's probably got about like 12 hours of those interviews on his computer, and I can't make fun of him because I'll sit down and watch one of those interviews. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me?
They're awesome.
I want to learn more about Perry Saturn's dildo in his head after you guys talk about Raw with me a little bit because we got distracted somewhere between Kelly's and dildos. Free dildos at Kelly's, kid.
I think we have a title for the show now.
What, free dildos at Kelly's?
Kelly's and dildos.
It's Kelly's
As
dildo.
As the one female co-host, I'd like to apologize to any listener that might be uncomfortable about dildo conversations.
It's all right.
There's no girls
I
listening.
feel an obligation to other people with ovaries. Maybe to apologize for my.
I love the fact that
friends.
Catherine, surmises that ovaries listen to this show. Because it's not happening.
There might be. You would never know.
Vaginas dry up at the thought of this show. Just throwing that out there. And then we get some roast beef, kid. After we work out at Planet Fitness, the Batista's theme.
Yeah, you don't have to mention roast beef and vaginas in the same sentence, Eddie.
I just had to do it.
Horrifying. Move on, please.
It's busted raviolis, kid. All right. And that's where we lose the show for like the 9th or 10th consecutive week.
All right, so there goes any chance of sponsors.
Unless it's for busted ravioli. Well, we are staying on track. We did cover Jason's bullet point, RVD back to WWE. Welcome back, RVD. Get you some Kellys. Tyson Kidd and Natalia get engaged. Thoughts on talents being in a relationship together. John Morrison and what's her face? Melina. Wow. See, I don't even remember her. Despite the fact that she had one of like the sexiest entrances to a ring ever, as a performer, I don't even fucking care. All I know is if she's potentially what cost us John Morrison, so she's dead to me. You're fucking dead to me. I mean, I don't know.
They're not even together anymore. That's the worst part.
Oh, really?
Last I knew, I think on his Wikipedia page it says they're not together anymore.
Oh, then it must
Oh,
be
yeah,
true.
I know. Yeah, let's trust Wikipedia. Catherine, you are a journalist. Start acting like one.
There's a fine line between journalist and stalker, and I haven't found that line yet.
Let's be more pertinent here. Community college journalist and stalker.
Hey, I have a website-y thing that I write for now, and I'm moving on to not community college. Thanks for making me sound terrible for any potential employers, Eddie.
Well, you can work at Kelly's. Free roast beef all around. No, I mean, I'll be honest. I kind of. It's weird because you think like Triple H, Stephanie, but that's lightning in a bottle.
I don't know, but you know what I was thinking is think of how many top stars are dating either a current diva or a former diva.
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 And
There's so many.
Yeah, they've been together for so long.
Is anyone a little more confused as to the Bella Twins, John Cena, Daniel Bryan kind of thing? Because
is anyone confused that the Bella twin with the boob job is the one dating John Cena? No. Anyone must be blind in one eye or something to be dating Daniel Bryan with that beard. I'm sorry. On his birthday, they posted a picture of the two of them kissing on Twitter, and I was like, oh god, don't. It's horrifying. I did actually see a goat today, and it made me think of Daniel Bryan.
Who's your writer? Fire them immediately. So I saw a goat today. I realize that you live you're a country bumpkin living in the middle of nowhere, fucking New Hampshire. But can we keep this shit professional?
No.
For what?
Hey, you're the one who was talking about dildos and vaginas. Shut your trap.
Well, because
I mentioned a goat.
If you haven't noticed that a majority of wrestling fans don't see vaginas, so when they hear vagina, they're like, "Holy fuck, yeah, I missed that." When you're
Is that how we're trying to attract listeners now, as by mentioning vaginas?
This is why I don't go on Twitter.
Rapid fire vaginas.
None of you see vaginas. Hashtag losers.
Hashtag follow us.
Hashtag eat Kellys.
Oh god.
That's what we should need to do is just start tagging like Kelly's roast beef and like dildos in the Twitter conversations.
Well, then
Please
because
don't.
people are gonna start going to, especially in Revere. You realize how fucking confused you're gonna make those fucking, the fucking patrons of the Kellys on the beach there. Jesus Christ, let's keep this on track, you fuckers. Matt Stryker not re-signed. Best news ever. That
Wait,
guy's
yeah.
a fucking twat.
What?
I
Well, you hear that one? That just came out like a couple hours ago.
That guy is such a fucking toolbox. I'm so glad he's gone.
But who are they gonna beat up during backstage interviews?
Well, funny you'd say that because I was actually reading this right before Jason gave me the bullet points. Colt Cabana had a color commentary tryout.
You know, I saw that too, but I don't want Colt Cabana to get beat up. I
Oh,
want
there's
Matt
no
Stryker to
fucking
get
way they beat Colt Cabana. If they don't fucking hire his ass by the end of the night, again, that's like the one asterisk I'll put towards this week in WWE is that motherfuckers hire Colt Cabana. He is the funniest son of a bitch I've ever seen. He's perfect. He is perfect.
He gets it.
Yes, like he fucking, he's a fan of wrestling. He fucking understands wrestling. You guys disappeared, and I'm forced to do the show by myself. I'm going to go ahead and try this again. Colt Cabana, amazing personality, amazing mic worker. Watch any of his YouTube videos. I'm going to try and get my show back. Hold on here. Eddie has to talk by himself. This is very uncomfortable for everybody. Fucking Skype, kid. Well, this is when I'll do my glowing endorsement for Kelly's Roast Beef. Kelly's Roast Beef, the best fucking roast beef in all of Massachusetts, you fucking dick.
Yay.
We have you guys back. Oh, Catherine's not back. No fucking surprise there. Can we have one show that doesn't involve technical difficulties? Is Gilbert running this show? Pretty damn close.
You have any more dildo stories?
While we wait for Catherine. Hey, Catherine's gone. Let's talk dildos. Good fucking God, Jason. I swear to God. I am at my wit's end with this show. I'm telling you. Tell that chick to get out of her basement and start playing WoW. Colt Cabana, I'm sold. I want that guy in this company. I think that I would like to see him as a writer.
Right? There's so much you could do with him. He's genius. Like, give him a half-hour YouTube show just to do whatever he fucking wants.
I think Catherine's back. Catherine?
I am.
You
So I
are-
don't quite know what you said while I was gone, but
Dildos.
I'm
Dildos, yeah.
apparently
Dildos all day.
I'm nervous about Colt Cabana coming to the WWE.
Well, they haven't given him a job yet. That's what I'm nervous about.
Right. But like if he were, it makes me nervous. They screwed him over so badly last time, and he is so like ingrained in people that don't even follow indie wrestling, follow wrestling at all. Most people know of Colt Cabana, like what he has is so perfect that I feel like the WWE would just bend him over and have their way with him.
But
and
this is the only argument I'll make, and I'm sure Jason will back me on this. Punk had no pull in that company when Colt Cabana was originally on the roster.
it's true.
Punk
But he
has
also had
no.
polls
After
other times auditioned.
I guarantee you this. I swear to fucking God, when those buy rates come in for this pay-per-view, if the buy rates do well, the buy rates do well because of Punk. They fucking know this. They know that. Listen to fucking Punk. Dude, he got Heyman to come back, right? Triple H, Steph, Vince all fucking hate Heyman. I can't emphasize enough being at fucking Slammiversary, seeing some of like the most attractive women, the only attractive women at that show, walking around with I'm a Paul Heyman girl shirts. Dude, like Punk is single-handedly, I'm not going to say, oh, he's revolutionizing. He's bringing the legitimacy back because Punk has an eye and ear for talent. And he appreciates business, much like Colt. If you get Colt in the company, you have Punk as a star, you got Triple H stuff running the company. I mean, I love the fact that the Triple H Daniel Bryan thing I thought was a storyline. Come to find out, that was an actual thing. Like, Daniel Bryan stood up for himself against Triple H, which, if you know anything about Triple H or Vince McMahon fucking if you read Jericho's second book, Vince McMahon loves guys that stand up for themselves. Absolutely fucking loves them. If you stand up and you give him shit back, fucking loves you for it. If Bryan was on a push before getting in a verbal disagreement with fucking Triple H, I swear to God, it's the fucking moon for him now, because the fact that he actually got in Triple H's face said, why did you end this match? And now they can turn it into a potentially awesome storyline. I mean, think about it. We were talking about the Del Rio Ziggler fiasco and how uncomfortable it was. And then Triple H had the whole thing where, oh, I have a concussion. and he pulls Bryan out because he thought Bryan had a concussion.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy it. The writing was so good this week that I think they're smart enough to swerve the fans.
You know what, though? This is one case on the show. If I'm wrong, I'll be happy to be fucking wrong.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
give a shit. I'll absolutely. I will take Jason on that and say, if Jason's right, I'm fucking fine with it. I'm absolutely fine with that. Because
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
matter. They pulled
matter.
it off, and it felt real. Like I said to you, the same thing about the Mark Henry shoot or retirement promo was that it walked the line of you don't really know, and that's what wrestling fans want. You kind of believe it, but there's doubt in your mind. But both sides are going back and forth in your head. That's what wrestling. When wrestling works, that's when it works.
Well, that's the thing. When you can get in a legitimate argument with a buddy of yours about if it was real or it wasn't real, they've already won. Because that's the whole thing. We know it's staged. We know it's preemptive. We know it's fake. When you no longer know, and that was how I felt with Money in the Bank when Punk went in against Cena. I had no fucking idea if he really lost his shit on Raw. And literally they were just like, here's a mic, cut a promo. And he was like, okay, well, here's my promo. Go fuck yourself, WWE. And he could still win the belt after that? That was one of the most amazing, probably 2 or 3 weeks of my life. Because as a fan, that was like, dude, I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know if this dude really is, they're like, you're going to win the belt this pay-per-view. Sign the contract. And he's like, I'll sign it once I win. And then he's like, hi, I got your fucking belt later. And then weirder shit has happened. Brian Pillman tricked Eric Bischoff in an angle where he was supposed to I forget the angle where it was. He was supposed to send Brian Pillman a fake termination contract, and Pillman managed to swerve it on Bischoff as a way to get out of WCW and into WWF.
Yeah.
And I remember reading that story around the time that the Punk Cena thing was happening. Like, dude, that's fucking brilliant. Like, that's how wrestling should be. A smart talent, a smart, commodity, knowing that they're a viable commodity and a smart commodity, fucking flipping the bird to the business, being like, fuck you, better opportunities here. I mean, even RVD was joking when, people were asking him, I'm so glad to see you come out of retirement. And he was like, I wasn't retired, I was in TNA. That's the thing, is even RVD, he had a cool sense of humor about it, because he's like, well, we know what company is still legit and what company is kind of fledgling still.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not to get all over the place here, but I loved this because I read this before I even saw bullet points again. CM Punk versus the Green Power Ranger. Jason David Frank.
Is this?
Yes, this is supposedly. Well, it's nothing that's happening. But what's the actor's name? I don't have the.
Jason David Frank, who I used to have an autograph of, mind you.
Oh,
but continue.
awesome. Yeah, I guess he is a legit I don't want to say MMA fighter or anything like that, but he did the show, so he knows karate and shit like that.
No, this guy's legit. I can honestly say,
okay.
as being a legitimately hardcore Power Ranger fan when I was a kid, and Jason David Frank was one of my favorites on the show. This guy is a legitimate MMA fighter. He's fucking jacked now. He does not look like Tommy anymore. He looks like scary Tommy, covered fucking head to toe in tattoos. He's actually done some really funny fucking interviews about shit he's pulled on people. And again, 7 was the age I started watching Power Rangers. If I'd known the shit I know now that he was pulling on people backstage, would have blown my fucking tiny 7-year-old brain out of my head. This
I love how you say backstage like it's a wrestling show.
It's real to me, damn it. Those weren't Asians in costumes. It was really them.
Oh God.
No, they weren't really in those costumes. Am I shocking anyone here? But no, he's a legit. And honestly, he thinks Punk is legit. He thinks Punk could go in MMA.
I know Punk's trained a lot of training in MMA, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I would love to see those two go at it. Love it. I would love it more if WWE could get behind it, but I know WWE's still on the fence with the UFC WWE tie-in, even though Vince McMahon, was it Terry White, the owner of UFC, he had actually challenged him to a fight at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Which I think would have been awesome, even though is it Terry White? Barry White?
Dana White.
Dana White, yeah. Thank you, Jason.
Close enough.
Terry, Slappy, Samsonite.
Skip.
I was way off. Yeah, Dana White was challenged to a fight by Vince McMahon at a WWE pay-per-view. He's like, dude, I'd fucking kill that old man. I think it's not like I would love to see an MMA WWE tie-in at some point.
I don't think you're ever going to see it.
Probably not, unless we forget the Brawl for Alls. And Jason just posted a picture of... Yep, there they are. Dude, he is a badass, the Green Power Ranger.
He's a little short.
Where...
Like, Punk's not tall, but he's really short.
Where is his gold fucking shield? Where's your shield, Mr. David Frank? Where is it?
That's the condition. You can only have a match with Punk if you wear the shield.
Dude, you cannot come out here unless you have your shield and flute. Otherwise, it is a no-go. I want to see the Dragon Zord.
And the Dragon Dagger.
This is why WWE would never hire me. They'd be like, all right, Eddie, what's your pitch this week? All right, listen up, you fucking dick. I want Jason David Frank to ascend from the fucking stage and the Dragon Zord, the fucking flute. You know, the da-da-da. Yeah, we're going to do that, kid. And he's going to fight fucking Punk. And he's going to have the fucking helmet on. You don't have the helmet with the fucking dragon teeth. You're done.
Then the kids from Salute Your Shorts.
Then we get fucking Blake Kid there. Rilo Kiley, they're broken up. He can fight. You say, you fucking dick. You're going to play the Green Ranger entrance. You're going to do that. Yeah,
every time I feel like maybe I'm getting too nerdy or my nerddom is just getting overwhelming for others, I have a conversation with Eddie and I feel so much better about myself.
It's amazing that there's actually a female attracted to me right now. And we haven't even reached the Power Ranger conversation stage of our relationship, but yes.
Let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
So when you tell her about your fascination with Power Rangers, like, please, like, keep a transcript so that we can know.
I will post that shit on Facebook like everything else I do. Like, here's something funny someone said to me today. Here's something that a girl said to me today. Here's the conversation I had with a girl who really likes me about the Green Ranger, and it did not end well. Just saying. That's why WWE never hired me. Get the fucking pyros for the Dragon Zord and get the fucking the fingers that fold into the chest there with the missiles. It's fucking great. Get Goldar. Where's Goldar? What's he doing these days? Get the green candle. Get the Red Ranger. And we've already lost our listeners at that point.
Either that or we just gained like 500 new listeners. They're like, wait, Power Rangers? What?
I really liked the conversation where Eddie was talking about the Power Rangers. I thought that was more compelling than wrestling, which is fake, as opposed to Goldar, which is real. I think this is you're pioneering a new kind of podcast for people who live at their mom's house, and I really appreciate that, Mr. Brophy.
God, I missed you guys last week.
Now, getting to Jason's end of his bullet points here, you fucking dick. TNA will be doing a pay-per-view event, Destination X, on cable TV on July 18th.
And?
I don't know. I kind of thought that was a cool idea. It's like having a WWE pay-per-view on TV. Not the same ballpark, but...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I could be way off on this, but I see, unless it was a rebroadcast, I seem to remember, wasn't the Caesar Palace... not the Trump Casino, but the Caesar Palace one where Hulk won the title. Wasn't that on USA? Was that pay-per-view or was that USA? Because I seem to remember one WrestleMania, especially that one in particular. I could have swore that was on cable.
Really?
I could be way off on that. I'm drudging back to like 93 now at my dad's apartment, so I could be way off. But it's interesting. I mean, but does it kind of show that they're desperate? Is my question.
I don't know about desperate. I think they're just trying to reinvent the way they present their product to you. I give them credit for doing it.
It's definitely, I mean, I'm not going to shit on it because essentially we're getting, a pay-per-view level event for free. I mean, if you're a cable TV subscriber, I mean, yeah, you're paying your Verizon, your Xfinity bill, but you're still not paying no fucking $50, $60 for a goddamn pay-per-view.
Not that you would anyways, but...
Yeah, because we stream it. It's not that we're against the system or that we don't support it. It's that we're all fucking poor.
That's rather true.
Pretty much, that about sums it up. Dear WWE, it's not that I don't love your product, it's just that I'm not good enough for your product. Sincerely yours, a fan. No, I mean...
This has everything to do with, school debt and being unemployed and...
You're making this show too real, Catherine. You're making it too real.
I'm sorry. You're allowed to rant about Power Rangers, but I can't say that the reason that I don't watch the pay-per-view
because Power Rangers transcend the somber realities that are being a 20-something who attends a community college on a below-poverty line, minimum wage, I want to kill myself some nights, but then I watch Power Rangers and everything's okay again.
And let me just say this, WWE, whatever you are, too many W's, if you're listening, if you had hired me, I would be able to pay for your pay-per-views, but you didn't.
I like how you said that like a really bitter ex-girlfriend. You could have hired me, WWE, but you didn't. Did you?
Could have had everything.
Baby, I can change.
So beautiful together.
Could have been something special.
Yeah, I would have been that guy on his hands and knees. Baby, I can change. Whatever you don't like, I can do different. I swear.
Tell me what I did wrong.
Less Kelly's, more Mikey's. I get it. By the way, Mikey's roast beef and Bill Rucka, fantastic.
Sorry, Kelly's.
Kelly's is I'll masturbate in a pile of Kelly's.
What's that gonna do?
I don't
New
know.
Hampshire, I've never been to these places you're talking about.
What?
Yeah, because you're not Boston strong. That's your problem, Catherine. What are you
I
doing on the show?
I talk a big game, but I'm not from Massachusetts like these assholes. I'm from New Hampshire. I have cows near my house.
Jason and Eddie are Boston strong. Catherine is New Hampshire mediocre. That's all it comes down to. All right.
It's easier for me to get to Maine than it is Boston.
At least you're not Chicago cranky. That's all I'll say. You're not Chicago
True.
cranky. And
I just live in a place with a lot of grass and cows and horses.
So Catherine's gonna be that cat person who also,
I
milks
can't have
the
cats. I'm
cows.
allergic.
Oh, there you go. You're not a
It's a
nerd.
house full of puppies.
I'm super allergic to the feline variety. When I watch
Didn't I already say I was a massive nerd?
Well, clearly I've outdone you. Who the fuck is Jason typing to?
Sorry, I'm working on show shit.
You're like
boring him.
You're like that chick who is always on her goddamn phone, and I gotta wonder, like 10 a.m. Who is awake right now? Who are you texting? God damn it, sir! This is why we don't let Jason talk on his own show. This is Jason's show, mind you. Most people don't know this about Jason. That's why he vents all his aggression on me on the Twitter, on the Twitter. Because I just drown him out with all my shitty endorsements for Kelly's and Mikey and I love me some Lakashas. You guys gotta eat at Lakashas in Burlington, Mass. They know me there. If you're listening and you work at Lakashas, sup, fellas.
They're not listening.
I really hope they are, because they are awesome over there.
Tell them to listen and let them know that you did a shout out and that they should sponsor us so we have money.
I want endorsements from fucking Kowloons. How many shows have I mentioned Kowloons and not a goddamn check has come my way?
You gotta get on the phone with Donald Wong.
Contact the PR person at Kowloons and tell them that we've been mentioning them, and then they'll hear all the other things that we mentioned in the same episode and decide it's a terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah, like me committing, grand theft photograph. I don't know what you would call that crime. I'm here to steal your autographs. Replace your autographs with my autograph.
I still think you should just show up in the Piranha Man costume and give them an 8x10 and sign it.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You need to go there in a Piranha Man.
Piranha Man.
Son of a bitch.
You don't want to wake the sleeping giant, Catherine. Don't you do this. I have done so well at subduing my alter ego, Piranha Man, that... Let's just end it there, okay? Things could get really dicey if you bring back Piranha Man. I'm just saying.
Fine.
How come
Apparently you're just Dildo Man this week.
Oh, Dildo. Oh, it's a good one. I'm Dildo Man.
Yeah. Do we have Twitter questions? Is that what you're?
I know. Are you talking to our listeners who are like, dude, what the fuck happened to your show? Oh wait!
I just sent you some.
Oh! I have to read them this week.
I'm asking if anybody wants to.
Fuck off! I'm reading them.
Well, one of them we kind of already addressed.
Hold on! Shut up! I have bad eyesight. 11 Longler. Longler. Do you think AJ Styles would fit in the new main event Mafia? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Next question.
Yeah.
That Sting's group. Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't know. I don't watch TNA. I'm sorry.
Shut up. At Bellafied. At Marks on Commentary. Thoughts on Nicole and Brie?
They have different sized breasts. I'm pretty sure we covered this.
They have boobs. At Bellafeed. At Marks on Commentary. Do you think AJ being Divas champ can make a difference in the Divas division? I actually do. That's a legitimate answer. I actually do.
She can actually... You guys might feel differently. I feel like she's a better wrestler than some of the other divas.
I think that her and Natalia... No. I'm
No,
actually,
they've had tag matches against each other, but they've never actually like wrestled each other
where's Natalia? Why is she not wrestling?
because she's busy dancing with the great Khali, and that takes up all of her time apparently.
That's bullshit. I want Natalia. I mean, Jason has said it's clickety clack clack.
Yeah.
You're not answering your fans, Mr. Jason.
I'm doing the tech work.
Oh,
Somebody has to supply the show.
Yeah, Jason's an engineer now. Fix my computer,
Jason
you
was just
prick.
like, let's just do a podcast so that he
Yeah.
can do all the tech work and make
Yeah.
us talk like
and not fix my computer, you prick. Okay.
Yeah, fix mine too, so my internet stops cutting out every time we do one of these.
Shut up.
I
You're
offered to fix Eddie's computer. He's like, yeah, I'll probably do that.
because I'm afraid you'll find all my porn. Okay.
I'll show you yours. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Creepiest thing Jason's ever said to me in the many years I've known him.
Hey,
At Craig.
let's just continue with the Twitter questions. At Craig Kelly 123, who on the NXT roster do you believe will make the biggest impact on the main roster when they get there? Please tweet me back. First of all, probably not going to tweet you back. We're pretty terrible about that. Or we can have Eddie tweet you back, and you might not enjoy that.
Or he'll love it. It'll be a
NXT
sensual
roster,
experience.
What's on the NXT roster right now? I don't actually know because the guys I cared about got brought up already.
I think Ricky Steamboat's son is. I would say he probably has the best chance.
I was gonna say they totally cleaned house in NXT, which I think
Oh,
is
yeah.
fucking awesome, dude. Like, that's,
But you know what? They just hired a bunch of people, so
They did, which I think is great that they're trying to keep up some turnover. Because, like, I know we've said Sammy Callahan's coming in. Mike Bennett from Ring of Honor, I believe, is supposed to be coming
Hold on,
in.
shut up. The Undertweeter has tweeted us, and I'm sorry, but I think that's a cool tweet name. Undertweeter, you're my boy. Is he
My
Kelly's?
bad. I'm sad that we don't finish answering that question.
I'm not gonna finish it because the Undertweeter is tweeting, and honestly, I want to eat Kelly's with him. So shut up. Worst angle storylines. Oh man, where do I
All
begin?
time or right now?
He didn't specify, so that's a pretty tough question, my friend. I'll go with Jason and Catherine on this to start.
I don't know, WCW, anything in 2001.
That was a
pretty
really
vague.
that was a really bleak year. For that.
Yeah.
I mean, even for WCW, that was a bleak fucking year.
There's not that many great highlights that year.
I'm gonna
A
go.
lot of shitty angles.
I'm gonna go ahead and say the fucking Nexus.
Hey, son of a bitch, I hate you.
No,
Love
I'm gonna
Nexus.
really go ahead and say the Nexus and John Cena. What the fuck? I'll put it this way: when Punk took over Nexus, it was actually really interesting. And I've
That's
even
my
said
least favorite parts.
the Rumble in Boston, where
That
they
was
were
awesome.
cleaning fucking house in the ring, and you were actually getting fucking. I was 24 or 23, probably 23 at the time, getting fucking angry at my TV. Fuck CM Punk, you son of a bitch! You know, Booker T comes out, bam, he's out. Are you fucking kidding me? Diesel comes out, bam. Like, what? Getting so fucking angry. Like, that was good. Wade
Yeah.
Barrett and the Nexus, fuck, that was the Cena. Oh, Cena's, you know, fired, and now he's won. Cena, that was dumb fucking bullshit.
Eddie, how could you possibly hate the Nexus versus John Cena more than the Core versus anybody?
Oh my god, that was
Yeah.
even worse. Oh, the Core versus Nexus at the Rumble, that was like the only low
That's
point for
horrible.
me.
Yeah. My least, okay, we've made it clear that I've been watching less time than you guys. My least favorite angle storyline that they had would be AJ and Daniel Bryan. As a female person, we've established this.
As a
I
female
was really
thing.
unhappy with the way they dealt with it.
As a vagina with arms, Catherine was disappointed.
Yeah, well, because to me, they had such an opportunity there, because it was at a time that there were still kind of divas around. Like, the divas weren't total trash yet. You know, I thought the idea of the whole abusive relationship, whatever, between Daniel Bryan and AJ, you know, as like uncomfortable as it was to watch sometimes, I thought it was compelling. I thought that it opened up different things. It was new and different. And then they just, instead of, you know, using AJ as to have a positive female role model to maybe bring in a younger female audience, they just turned her into the whore of the locker room and had her make out with everybody. And, like, they're kind of resolving it a little bit now with, like, her whole feud with Caitlyn. Like, her saying, you know, you were never there for me. And, like, I had to turn to guys because there was nobody else. Like, a best friend abandoned me. Like, it's kind of wrapping that up. But for the last 2 years, it's just been, you know, well, you know, if a guy hits you, that's okay. Because then you can just make out with other hot guys. And that makes me unhappy.
Yeah, I can agree to that, but I can argue that she is the most over female because of all that. And I don't know, the past 10 years, can you name another top female that's even close to her?
Oh no.
I would have said Natalia, but they buried her. Absolutely fucking buried her.
She's the best since Trish.
Well,
I mean,
Kelly
Yeah.
was rather popular.
Yeah, but her actual legitimate legal name sums it up, Barbie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that sums it up.
It was
When
eye candy.
when she came out at the Raw I was at in the November when we were leading up to Cena Rocket Survivor Series, she came out like the typical fucking bimbo in the fucking Patriots jersey.
Yeah.
Dude, like you're supposed to be, in my mind at least, and I know a lot of people could be like, "Brr, but I like titties, titties." When you're a female in the WWE, I think of Scary Sherry, I think of Ms. Elizabeth, I think of fucking Chyna, I think of Ivory, Luna, Trish Stratus, Lita. Like, those are some really amazing fucking characters and some amazing athletes.
Yeah.
I remember my mother during the Attitude Era when I was a kid being so disgusted by the women in that company. But meanwhile, a lot of these women that, like the Debras and, you know what I mean, like the fucking Tories, you forgot about them because they were forgettable. Like Sunny, for example. You could forget about Sunny, but Sunny was such a great valet.
Yeah.
That she wasn't a wrestler, but she was a great personality. She was a great valet. She was a great announcer. I think this was the era of fucking Michelle McCool, like great female wrestlers that were actually good role models. That, in terms of AJ, AJ and Natalia, like AJ still got her head afloat, whereas Natalia, it's like, why did you bury, like one of the most legitimate, like, not just like female wrestlers, but like her lineage, like, you know, just I don't know. That it does bug me a lot, but it's a
to kind of draw a comparison. I feel like what they do with Natalia right now is what they did. You're gonna hate me for this. What they did with Curtis Axel back when he was Michael McGillicuddy, which was never mention how good of a wrestler he is or where he came from. When they talk about Natalia now, they never ever ever talk about Hart Dynasty or any of her family. It's always, oh, she's with Great Khali, or oh, don't her tits look really good in that dress. Like there's no mention of who she is and where she's come from, and without that, I mean that's part of who she is, and that's part of what makes her so fantastic. She's one of the best female wrestlers there is in the business, or arguably anywhere right now, and they just bury her.
Hold on,
we disappointing. So I do agree with you that, you know, it helped boost AJ, but I was just disappointed with the way that they did it.
Hold on, we actually have a female Twitterer at Miss WWE16. Thoughts on Randy Orton?
He's hot. That's all she wants to know.
Okay, dildo on Catherine's head.
Let's be honest, Randy Orton is like the eye candy for the girls.
I'm sorry. His wife is eye candy for me, so.
Yeah.
He's got a hot wife.
And it's all fair.
And Randy Orton, I'm sorry, that's not disrespectful, man. Like, congrats. Good on you, Mr. Orton, because you got yourself a hot wife. I'm going to move along there. At Team Karate Fury H, why did you unfollow me? That's Jason's department, Jason.
Oops.
Oops.
Sorry.
Jason's got pissed off at us.
Our engineer says oops. Not our
My bad.
Not our show leader, our engineer says oops. Team Karate Fury H, your name's too long. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe.
Yeah, that's why we unfollowed you.
Your name's too long. You're not the undertweeter.
Get a better Twitter handle.
At Gems Rooney, I hope Sting makes the right choice and picks Matt Morgan for his partner in main event. I don't. Hashtag TNA. Hashtag your face. I don't know.
Do you see what you people have done by talking about TNA? Now we're getting TNA questions. The next one's about TNA too. This is all your fault, the two of you.
This is like the equivalent for me going to a TNA pay-per-view is like the equivalent of like a chick following you around after you sleep with her. I slept with you once! One time!
It's like herpes. It comes back.
God, I can't shake it. Miss Marjano, another female, Miles, and if you're not a female, I'm really sorry. What will it take to get TNA to compete with WWE, who is a bigger drain on their budget? Hogan or Bischoff, both? Both.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, get rid of them. But who's the bigger drain? It's not a contest. It's both of them, and it's Brooke Hogan.
I think if you had to pick one to get rid of, I'd say Hogan.
What is that guy? Honestly, God, what the fuck does he like bring to the table? Nothing. He doesn't wrestle really.
3 times in my entire life, and on none of those shows was Hulk Hogan there. So ditch him.
Yeah. At Wrestling Kron, who would win the match between?
Can answer the other half of that question. which I thought was actually a good question. What would it take to get TNA to compete with WWE?
Actual
People
talent.
watch it?
Actual talent.
Pushing the right talent and not ignoring the
Yeah.
good talent.
Not ripping off FX television shows. I'm sorry. And I'll be honest with you. Watching the promos and stuff, as interesting as the angle is, you're not original. You're not original. That's TNA's biggest problem. You're not fucking original. Like, I remember when they were doing the Undertaker return promos. It was when he wrestled Triple H for the second time. And it was the year before they had their final match. With the house and the lightning and the rain, and everybody's like, holy fuck, it might be Sting, it might be Sting. And it was Undertaker. TNA literally took the same fucking promo and made it for Sting.
Well, that was, I think, like a nod to him allegedly going, or...
Well, it could have been a nod, but it's still like, dude, like, even if you're lampooning the company, there was a much more creative way you could have done. You know what you could have had Sting do? Come out and be like, yeah, they offered me a contract, tell them to go fuck themselves. Bam, promo done.
I actually have a random theory, actually, to go into that, like, Triple H Sting thing. If you remember at the time, like, they had, at WrestleMania, they had, like, Metallica music playing and everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, for two of them. I think they kind of signed a deal with Metallica to get Seek and Destroy, which was Sting's, like, theme from, like, WCW, and Sting backed out, and they were like, well, we're left with, like, a 2-year contract with Metallica for, like, music or something. I have no source or anything. That's just kind of my...
No, that's Jason being a smart mark, like and I'm not saying that in the derogatory sense, like a really honest to God, like a guy who knows his shit. I buy it. I buy it completely. Yeah. Like if
possible.
Yeah, if you're optioning a song or you're under contract with an artist, fuck it, why not? If we already paid them. Yeah. It's like Mean Girls. Well, I'm not going to do that because we already paid the DJ.
Because the next 2 years they had Metallica songs.
Yeah. And Metallica, they were promoting WrestleMania. Yeah. I
don't know.
I totally
just
buy
a thought.
No, but it's a smart mark thought.
It's plausible. That's all.
It's a smart mark thought because it's actually something that, you know what, like, yeah, I believe it 100%. I think that's a huge possibility. Wrestling Cron, who would win a match between Bo Dallas versus The Miz versus the Great Khali?
The Miz.
This one, the few times I will say The Miz, unless it's a Punjabi prison.
Do you hear that there's like huge hate on Bo Dallas for some reason? Like all over the internet, like people hate him. I don't know why.
Husky Harris's brother, and Husky Harris is way cooler than him.
Why didn't they stick him with his brother?
Brother.
I guess they did something in NXT where, like, Husky Harris / Bray Wyatt tried to get Bo Dallas to join them, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not going to join you." It's like, what a missed opportunity. Like, because now Bo Dallas isn't going anywhere. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
None of the storylines from NXT carry over to WWE.
I'm sorry. This is actually a tweet I really want to interrupt with. Jems Rooney, why has TNA let RVD go back to WWE? He's one of the best superstars in TNA. Are they going to let him come back if he wants to?
That's probably why we unfollowed you.
Oh, was that the guy we unfollowed?
I don't think so.
I thought it was.
But we'll unfollow you now.
No, why would we unfollow
Just kidding.
him? Why would... No, because that's a legit...
No, I'm sorry, that was the wrong person.
No, that's a legitimately good question. What did they do to drop the ball with RVD? And if he does make this run in WWE, will they let him back? Yes, they'll let him back because he's a viable commodity, even though...
He's Rob Van Dam.
Because he's Rob Van... he's Rob Van fucking Dam.
They just take WWE cast-offs.
But what did they do to drop the ball? Hulk Hogan probably doesn't even know who the fuck this guy is.
Do you ever hear, like, read Hogan's tweets where he's like, I never know who's hired or not? Or...
Yeah, I saw that. That's a Dixie Carter fucking Bruce Pritchard move.
But he's constantly saying shit like that. Like, yeah. I guess his contract was up at some point and he didn't even realize it. Or, Robert Roode's contract was up and they didn't even realize it to the day of the pay-per-view. It's like, you guys are fucking dropping the balls on the talent. You don't know who's signed or who's not. Like, somebody should be getting paid to do that and look into the logistics of how long this guy's left. How,
all right, to sum it up, to give you the best analogy, TNA is essentially an orgy. You don't know who you're fucking. You just know there's a lot of fucking people there.
Yeah,
all it is. You're giving someone a blowjob. You just don't know who it is.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've heard about them has been that it's just really discombobulated when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know if you remember, Jason, but there was an episode of Art of Wrestling, and I'm totally blanking on who it was, who was like an independent wrestler in Europe, and he said like he was signed by TNA, and it took them so long to get their shit together, and they told him he couldn't like do any shows while they were putting his contract together. Then like that he ended up having to completely ditch the contract with TNA because he ran out of money. Like, so they're screwing over talent that they're trying to hire, and I'm not surprised people are leaving TNA if that's the way that it goes there.
Yeah, I remember. Who was that? It was some England talent or something like that, if I recall. I can't remember his name. Sorry. Yeah, they're clusterfuck. I don't get how you can be that disorganized. Like, you're paying that many people. Nobody's looking at the books. Like, it's a WCW all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they won't last nearly as long as WCW did. I can almost promise you that. There's a difference between Dixie Carter money and Ted Turner money. A big fucking difference. Now, unless Dixie Carter starts hooking to the fucking marks, there is no way that company will stay in business, because you're dealing with Bischoff and you're dealing with Hogan, like their money, and then the older brother from the Wonder Years, I forget his real name. Like, that's the money you're dealing with, along with Dixie Carter. It won't last. I'm sorry. For them to come to Boston and do a show at Agganis Arena, if that impresses me, you're fucked. You are so fucked.
Did they not even sell out the Agganis Arena?
No, and
It was half
Jason
off.
can corroborate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Half the fucking entire left side of the arena was blacked out.
Yeah, and that was the Agganis Arena, which, if you're not from New England, the Agganis Arena is like the midget version of the Garden. It's tiny.
Oh, I love...
There's no balcony.
I love how our country bumpkin friend knows Agganis Arena.
Hey, you know what? I go to concerts and stuff.
You are a viable asset to the show, Miss Catherine.
You know Farmer Joe's barn? It's just like that. A little bigger, though.
I like that TNA got a promotion from Farmer Joe's barn to the Agganis Arena.
Hey, do you know, if they can't fill the Agganis Arena, maybe they should go to Farmer Joe's barn.
If you can't say that shit and not expect me to fucking put it out there on the Marks of Commentary fucking Facebook site that we're gonna have a fucking show at Farmer Joe's barn. At Craig Hermit, why was Nails fired by WWE?
Who's Nails?
I actually know this. He was...
Enlighten us, so Jason.
I will.
Enlighten you. I know who the fuck Nails is.
Yeah. If you watch the Ultimate Warrior documentary, there's a little like minute piece about him. He was supposed to be like the foe to the Boss Man. Like he was a prisoner.
Boss Man.
What's that?
Who was the Boss Man?
You never heard of the Boss Man?
Whoa. Vagina with arms. Does not know who Boss Man is. I need a minute.
That's not true. I actually do know who he is because I got a pack of trading cards today and he was in it, and I said, "Who the heck is that?" And then tried to buy it.
I need a minute with my bottle of Old Thompson. All right, I need to collect myself. I wish Kelly's delivered to North Reading. Yes, I live in North Reading. Feel free to visit. You don't know who the Boss Man is.
We made it very clear that I started watching right before Nexus joined.
Jason,
and Nexus is the reason I kept
think
watching.
it's safe to say that Catherine is the Mountie of this show. And she has no idea who that is, so continue, Jason.
Who the Boss Man is? It's before the Shield. It was one guy in like gear like that. Anyways, Nails was like a prisoner, and he dressed in an orange jumpsuit and everything like that. And I guess one time he went into Vince's office and like threatened him that he wanted more money or something like that, and like they got into an altercation, and that's what led to him being fired.
Is he in the jumpsuit at the time? Because that'd just be ironic.
I would hope so. It makes that story much better.
If that guy showed up at Vince's office in the fucking blue jumpsuit, I would have laughed my god. This is like watching, like, say, if Glenn Jacobs showed up in Vince's office dressed as Kane and was asking for more money. If I'm a fly on the wall of that, like if I'm a writer or a talent or anything, I'm sitting there laughing my balls off, being like, dude, this 7-foot asshole and the fucking, like, missing one arm, red fucking lightning, whatever the fuck he was wearing, and the mask and long hair. Vince, I want more money. I am just sitting there laughing my tits off, just being like, oh my god, Kane is trying to barter with Mr. McMahon. This is the greatest guy. Especially if he had the voice box at the time. No, Vince, I want more. I would be laughing my ass off.
I don't know, if you've never seen any videos, he's actually plays the character really cool, so, and it's unfortunate that it never like panned out to be anything.
at Dip412 should at Ric Flair should Ric Flair be added to WWE as a manager? He was supposed to be. He was supposed to be Ziggler's manager.
Yeah.
And they nixed it, and then it looked like he was going to be the Miz's manager, and they nixed that. Well, obviously, I think they nixed that because his son passed away, which sucks. Like, it was a drug overdose, which we learned. A lot of drugs. Kid was like a few years older than me and Jason. I mean, Jason and I talked about this at Extreme Rules at the department. That's a real shit way to go. Like, I have friends, and I know people have died from overdose. It's a shit way to go. I don't know if we'll see Ric Flair. I don't know how, because that guy's had such a shit life in the past 10 years.
Give it a year.
I would like to, because honestly, I think Ric Flair would be an amazing manager to any one of those guys. Any one of those.
He's over.
Dean Ambrose and Ric Flair. Done.
I don't know. To me, like, for him to come in, give the figure four to Miz, and leave is perfect. I was never a huge fan of Ric Flair. I apologize. I apologize for everything. But, like, everything that comes out of my mouth on the show, I apologize for. But, like, to me, it's past his time. Like, he's done. Like, for him to come in and just, pass it on and kind of, like, pass the torch on and say, hey, do you know what? I'm done. You guys go now. I thought was perfect. If he wants to come back and do some of the stuff, I mean, they bring back all sorts of guys all the time. That's fine. But for him to be there consistently, I would just get really annoyed.
Woo!
Probably because of that.
At Derek_Stan, isn't it fair the way Del Rio won back his title? Considering Ziggler did the same, only worse, it was payback.
Ziggler did the same, only worse? What are you smoking? Okay, he had an injured knee, which Ziggler took advantage of. Ziggler had a concussion, which is a serious injury, and Del Rio
I'm actually going to
we already talked about that here.
I'm actually going to side with this kid. I think it was payback. I do. I do. I'm Derek_Stan. I'm with you, buddy. Poetic justice. I'm in.
Yeah.
Hashtag, I listen to our fucking Twitter. That's a long hashtag. I listen to our tweets, our Twitagras. I listen to them. No, I think that's an honest to God good question. Was it payback? Fuck yeah, it was payback. Oh, you had a concussion? Bam, here's your head 9 times.
I think for Del Rio, it was payback, but I don't know. Like, I've already said how uncomfortable that made me, and if it was any other injury and he did that,
You're a woman.
I think it would have been fine and fair, but
you're a woman and you don't know who the big boss man is. So
hey, do not shut your face.
Pin a rose on your nose, as Stephanie Tanner would say.
Hey, don't start quoting Full House at me. I don't deserve that kind of treatment.
How
you can't
rude.
turn Full House into a negative. Hey, don't use Full House to come between our relationship.
You have absolutely nothing on my knowledge of Full House. I have a framed picture of the Tanner family in my bedroom. It's true. She's seen it.
I was like, why are you talking like that? That's a legitimate statement.
It is really true.
Oh, man. Johanna, if you're listening to this, don't listen to any of this. This is not
too late at this point, Eddie.
Yeah, I really hope she doesn't listen to this.
She shut it off after the dildo story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write her tonight, and I'm gonna get a giant email. Says, "Oh, I was on your Facebook earlier. You're a dick, and what is Kelly's roast beef?" What? You don't fucking have that in England, there, kid? You fucking dumb as a fucking rock, I tell you. Oh man, I have to make a care package for her. Guess what's going in it? Kelly's roast beef.
Then you're gonna say dildo.
Fuck off. You know what? Hashtag eat me.
No, thank you.
There have been no calls this week. No surprise, because
no voicemails. We
97
should have savored those 3 we had instead of scaring people away from our voicemail.
Oh, the one guy away. Ooh. 978-276-9418. If you don't call the phone line, it's because you're a dick, and I hate you.
His phones are frightening, and people don't use them anymore.
That's the thing on the last podcast I did. People would actually text me like, I want to be on the show, dude, but I don't want to call. Why? Because you're going to make fun of me. That's what the phone line's there for. Oh, need to do a Twitter shout-out. Thank you, Jason. At MO Commentary on Twitter. So Jason can claim to be me, which I think is a crime in some countries.
Not to mention, you can follow me. I'm at VLNPLYR2. You can see some of the epic conversations Jason and I have where we make fun of Eddie.
I will say I do follow those, and by follow I mean I just stalk them, and I actually think they're pretty comical. Catherine actually asked me last night. She was like, "Are you mad?" I'm just like, "Why would I be mad? Like, they're comical." The only angry part about it is that I can't rebuttal because I don't know how Twitter works. So I'm just like, pound sign, 1-800, fuck you.
Also, not to mention, if you ever tweeted me, I'd be like, "Who the hell is this?" Because I didn't even know you had a Twitter.
Because I would use the Kelly's Roast Beef logo. at Busted Raviolis would be my tag.
I should say, as a follow-up, we did check, not last week, but the week before. There is already a Piranha Man account. It is not Eddie.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, that is some bullshit is what that is.
I'm just going to start tweeting Piranha Man.
No, what I'm going to do is start a Kickstarter account. And I'm not going to follow through because the whole NSA, like, you're a terrorist thing. I was going to say, I'm going to start a Kickstarter account to get that motherfucker assassinated. But I'm not going to do that.
I think you just did.
I did.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I'm not a terrorist. You know what I am?
Start a Kickstarter so that he'll give you the Twitter handle.
I'm 127 pounds of... Oh, fuck. Don't hurt me. I can't handle a cavity search. My asshole is too swollen.
I don't know. No.
I don't know
I was
what
going
I'm
to say
saying.
something and I just don't want to say it.
Again with Jason with the...
All right. I'm just going to say it. I need to do some Twitter shout-outs. I was going to type it and be discreet. I had some people retweet us, and I got to shout them out.
Don't fuck this up, Jason. Don't fuck this up.
Hashtag
he's going to fuck it up.
Fuck. At your buddy CJ, at Agitative Jim, at ECW Dave, at _TGMTEL. I don't know.
You're making Jason... You're treating this like it's a spelling bee. How dare you, Twitter?
And at Brian Slayers. Thank you guys for the retweets. I'm giving you shout outs. Thanks for listening.
Don't forget we got retweeted by High Spots.
We did. We got retweeted by High Spots. We got
twatted by High Spots.
Yeah. Who else? Lance Storm retweeted a photo.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I showed you.
Did you?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Gangrel retweeted us.
I did see that, and Gangrel's a fucking man. Oh my god.
I love to have these people on the show.
Wrestler formerly known as Derek Bateman. I was pretty excited.
I know. I'm going to be honest right now, and I will say that if Gangrel ever co-hosted this show with us, not only would he be unimpressed with the lack of professionalism, but I would geek out so fucking hard.
It would be, but have you ever heard him do an interview?
Oh, he's so fucking cool.
He's cool, but he's got the teeth, and it's all in, like, vampire teeth. Like, they don't come out.
Dude, I don't give a fuck. Did you realize how much of the show you guys would be ignored? Because I'd just be like, Gangrel, question the first. What's your favorite horror movie? Can we watch it over Kelly's Roast Beef in Dunkin' Donuts? I'll get the munchkins. Like, he was one of those guys that I fucking loved as a kid. Because it was, at the time, it was pre-Twilight bullshit, where it was actually fucking cool to come up from the fucking fire on the ramp and spit the blood on the crowd with the fucking theme song. Why am I never prepared for these things?
Damn it, Eddie.
Dude, the fucking theme song. I
actually want to hear it. I've never heard the theme song.
Okay, listen.
It was a Titantron of the day.
Was it?
Yeah.
Shows you how much I actually read Marks on Commentary Twitter.
That was the Facebook, you dick. Or the
No, it's on Twitter too.
It links over.
It's links over. You fucking hold on.
I have like so many people putting messages on Twitter that I lose track of half of them.
I'm sorry, this is the greatest theme song ever. Greatest theme song ever, hands down. Favorite song ever. Oh, I am so on board to get Gangrel on this show.
Let's make a motion to get him on here. Like, let's make a movement to have him.
No, honest to God, did the fucking blood... Dude, the bloodbath?
Repeatedly until he agrees.
I'll just keep talking about dildos until Gangrel decides to shut me up.
If you're listening to our show, tell Gangrel to come on our show.
Dude, no, there's a lot of shit I would love to ask him.
And we will ask him the questions you send us.
Oh, fuck yeah,
I'll
dude.
embarrass myself by not knowing nearly enough about him as I should.
Honest to God, Gangrel, that was the lightning in the bottle era of WWF. Honest to God, one of the few wrestlers that was both... It was a silly gimmick, but it fucking worked. Like The Undertaker. Oh, my God. the questions I would ask that dude about the Undertaker, the Ministry of Darkness, the sacrifices.
He was in ECW in like '95 too.
See, I didn't even know that. You fucking smart, Mark.
Sorry, I'm smart. And he married Luna.
I did know that. I wouldn't want to ask him about her though. Like that would be off limits to me. I wouldn't want. When it comes to like dead, I don't want to touch that.
I think they separated before.
Well, there's a good chunk of stuff I'd want to ask him about Luna because they seem perfect. Like Luna was out there, and Gangrel was out there, but it'd be weird to ask him about that now because Luna was cool. That's the thing that I love about Luna. She was legitimate to her character. I remember on the Where Are They Now on the WWE.com, like she was like a tow truck driver.
Really?
And I remember just thinking like, that's fitting because she is a scary lady, but she seems so fucking cool. Yeah, there's a ton of shit I'd ask him. There's a ton of shit I'd ask a lot. Mick Foley, like, aside from the few anecdotes I've told you to, like, I would ask him a ton of shit. But if we could get Gangrel, like, it would for me, it'd be, like, mostly horror movies and mostly just, like, the Attitude Era, like.
He directs porn now, too, I think. So we could talk about that.
Fantastic!
So pretty much he's, like, Eddie's perfect man.
Yeah.
Is why he's so obsessed with him.
We gotta get him on the show. We gotta try and make like a serious effort, like a campaign to get him on the show.
Honest to God, I would. He was one of the few guys like from the Attitude Era I would love to talk because that gimmick was so fucking over. Even when he got the Hardy Boys as the New Brood, that was still an over gimmick.
He's seen so much too. Like he knew Edge when he was young. He, sadly was there when Owen passed away. So he knows like inner working shit too that we could fucking ask him. So I seriously want to make like a campaign, and if you're listening to this, take 2 seconds, tweet Gangrel. I'll find his Twitter and I'll mention it before the end of the show. Fucking tweet him, tell him you want him to come on our fucking show, and we will ask a fucking question for you.
I love how Boston
to not let Eddie mention dildos while he's on the show unless Gangrel mentions it first.
I love how Boston Jason gets when he's excited. I'll fucking do this. I'm gonna fucking get Gangrel. You sound like Lenny fucking Clark is who you sound like.
You're wicked awesome.
I'm gonna get a fucking Gangrel on the show. You fucking watch. I'm sorry.
It's at Gangrel 13.
I'm sorry. All I'm thinking about now after Jason getting so excited is the story when fucking Lenny Clark stole the bus to promote his campaign.
That's awesome.
I'm going to pick you up from your house, and when someone asks you who dropped you, say, Lenny fucking Clark did it. Prince Pizza, that's another endorsement I want to get. Prince fucking Pizza, get the house of Lenny Clark. Pizza tastes like paper, but it's all right. Promote us. While Jason clicky clack clacks.
I'm working this shit.
I'm going to call that the show. I'm very happy with it, because I got to do this voice a lot. However, I think our fucking Twitterers, awesome fucking question, guys. Keep them coming. I don't have much to say, so I'm Eddie.
I'm Jason.
I'm Catherine.
And I promise I will have a new theme where both Catherine is included, and we don't have a 30-minute time limit, because from my estimation, I'm really bad at math. We're about an hour, 23 minutes in.
Oops.
So much for the half hour. We'll talk to you next time.